Good morning. My name is Craig Marks, and I'm a candidate for City Councilman in District F in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And I'm coming to you because I wanted to share a few things with you that I might not otherwise get a chance to share with you on a one-to-one, face-to-face basis. So I'm taking this opportunity to come to you via Facebook and via video so that I can address some issues that may be of some concern to my constituents in District F and Lake Charles, Louisiana as a whole. I want to start this off by doing a short prayer. Father God, I come to you asking that you will bless all those that are running for the mayor's race and running for city councils throughout the district and Lake Charles. I pray that you will watch over all of us, that our hearts and our minds may be pure and may be right, that we may not be in this endeavor for selfish gain, but to serve the people and to do your will. Lord, we pray and ask that you bless everyone that is in these races, Lord, and that you give them strength, understanding, and wisdom. But even more so, those that prevail, Lord, I ask that you bless them and keep them as they do this work that you've called us forth to. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen. Okay, first of all, I want to invite all of you viewers to be patient and to please watch the whole video in its entirety. I wanted to explain to you why I'm seeking the office of City Councilman for District F. First of all, I am passionate about my community and my people. I have a vested interest within District F because this is where my home is. I believe that myself and the people of District F should have a voice in the running of our city, especially within the area in which we live. We should have a voice that speaks for the people and a voice that should not be compromised for selfish or political gain. I'm an advocate of making a difference, not just a change in my community. You see, making a change is just going from one candidate to the next. But making a difference is when progress happens. Making a difference is when you can look around your city and your neighborhoods and communities and see the evolution of where we live for the better. Making a difference is when the conditions in which we live inspires growth. I want to be the voice that represents District F because I am tired of seeing the city around District F grow in leaps and bounds, and yet the district in which I live is progressively going in the opposite direction, and at best, just lay stagnant. I want to be your District F City Councilman because in Lake Charles as well as District F, we desperately need and lack effective and trustworthy leadership. We have become a city that just goes along with what is considered to be the status quo. We go along just to get along, and to me, that is no longer acceptable. We must stop giving our votes to people because they are our friends or because they are popular, or even more so because of our laziness and neglect to exercise our vote. It is just as much a responsibility of the people that elect as it is the person that's being elected. To be effective and vigorous in making sure that the voices of the people are heard. We, those seeking and the ones holding these elected positions, can no longer fake leadership. Whether or not you are an effective leader will always show in the results of your journey. As a citizen of District F or any other district within the city of Lake Charles, if you can take an honest assessment of the neighborhood and community in which you live and honestly and wholeheartedly say that your area has progressed in a manner that is acceptable to you as a resident and citizen of that district, then vote for the incumbent. Or vote for a candidate similar to the person that has been in that position before. Because if it's not broke, don't fix it. But if you don't see the progress that should always be obvious. If you want better for your community, if you want a stronger, better, more effective voice to speak loudly on your behalf, then vote for Craig Marks in District F. If you want your community, District F, to grow just as the city around it is growing, then go vote. Go vote for a new voice. Go vote for effective leadership. Cast your vote for someone that is experienced at fighting and overcoming the impossible. Go vote for Craig Marks as your next District F City Councilman. My platform. How do I plan to do this? How do I plan to make District F grow and become relevant in the growth of the city of Lake Charles? Well, I'm glad you asked. My plan for a better District F consists of many facets, each of which calls for effective leadership, a listening ear to the concerns and wishes of the people of my district, a willing spirit, and most importantly, the active, involved, and committed residents of District F. I don't have the time on this video to address every aspect of my plan, but I want to briefly address what I have found to be the most pressing areas of concern within my district, and in most cases, citywide. The first, economic growth. I plan to address and fight for District F's share of the growth that we are experiencing as a city. I plan to address issues of tax incentives and available property that may be available within our district that could possibly entice prospective businesses that are seeking to come to Lake Charles to consider our district as a viable location for their business to thrive and succeed. I will address the premise that I don't believe in the past that our district, as well as some other districts, have not even been presented as viable options to businesses that have expressed interest in coming to Lake Charles. Here's what I base my premise on. At one time within the city of Lake Charles's history, the areas of Oak Park, the Louisiana Avenue corridor, Prien Lake Road, and the Common Street area were all incubators of growth for the city of Lake Charles. How is it that now, with all of the growth going on within our city, we, District F, are not seeing some semblance of new business growth or even prospective business interests within our district? Either we have not or are not being presented as an option when business interests seek out Lake Charles as a prospective home, or our past leadership has not been speaking on our behalf for the people as they should. Think about it. The areas of the city that make up District F, and you tell me why we can't be seeing economic growth. In other words, think about what makes up District F, the Power Center area. Ward 3 has built a state-of-the-art sports complex that is surrounded by shopping and restaurants, as well as the Lake Charles Charter Academy. Why wouldn't businesses want to locate in that area? The Oak Park area, which is home to Prien Lake Road, which has several on-ramp accesses to Interstate 210 for easy travel for visitors to get in and out of the city with relative ease. You tell me, why wouldn't businesses want to locate in this area? The Petro Point University areas that has Common Street as a thoroughfare to our airport and McNeese, that is surrounded by thriving communities that could support any business that would want to come. Tell me, why aren't businesses being located in these areas? The Louisiana Avenue corridor, bordered by the Brentwood, Louisiana Avenue communities that have great schools such as LaGrange High School, F.K. White Middle, and Brentwood Elementary. Why wouldn't businesses want to locate in this area? I refuse to believe that businesses have not and would not be interested in our district as a viable business location. These are questions that we must ask ourselves if we live in District F. You must always ask your leadership, why not? We must always question the fact of why is one part of the city thriving and we're not? Next is infrastructure. Infrastructure consists of drainage, traffic, streets, etc. I will attack the ever-increasing problem of drainage that seems to be getting worse in areas such as the Willowick area, the Bancroft area, the Fifth Avenue areas, as well as areas along our avenues. I will seek and address possible causes as well as solutions that may be available to our district and our city. I will work with the department heads as well as the city council as a body to come up with cost-effective ways to remedy the common problem of drainage that every district has been experiencing. I believe that as a councilman for District F, along with the city council and the new mayor, we can pool our resources and move as a team to alleviate this issue. Traffic. Traffic is a byproduct of our growth as a city. It is a necessary evil that I feel we can better handle with new and innovative ideas that I will help to seek and address. We can begin by forming investigative teams that will go about throughout the areas, that will compare with other cities throughout the United States that are growing as we're growing, that are our size. There are many different ways that we can seek out remedies to these problems, but we have to put forth the effort. I plan to work together with my other city council members and come up with viable solutions, cost-effective solutions that would help us remedy all these problems that we're going through. I do believe that with some teamwork and effective leadership, we will reduce some of the traffic issues that we have been facing. Lastly, is community and police relations. This consists of crime and all the other aspects that the community and the police department must work together in order to solve. The first facet goes hand in hand and directly affects the issue of crime that has been on the increase within our city. I will take an active and personal role in building the communication between our residents and our police department. I believe that it is necessary and crucial to the safety of our families that we repair and change the way that we as citizens view our police and how our police view our citizens. It is also essential to our ability to attract businesses that we have a safe community free of tension between the citizens and the men and women that protect and serve our communities. I will be a proponent of accountability, both for citizens and the police. I will help to create programs that will allow the police and citizens to learn and respect the roles that we all serve to make Lake Charles a peaceful and prosperous place to live. I will be an advocate of understanding that we as a community can help to aid the police in making our district and city safer with neighborhood watch programs, neighborhood interaction, and other programs that may help us to better understand that we need them and they need us. I will work to establish programs that will help the citizens to see how difficult the job of a police officer really is and help the police to understand the mindset of the community when their approach and their handling of citizens and situations are not proper. The last issue I want to address is the vote. In past elections, we have an approximate registered voter accountability of 6,700 voters in District F. We have 6,700 registered voters. And on average, over the last 3 elections, we've been averaging 1,200 voters. That's unacceptable. It is our past practice to not vote, but we want to hold the elected officials accountable for being our voice. We don't vote, nor do we do our part to hold the people elected accountable. This is how we allow people to stay in positions for so long without being effective. We must register to vote and make sure that our current voter information is up to date and matches where we actually live. A lot of us think that we can vote where we live, but when we moved or for whatever reason we changed districts, we didn't update our voter information. So what good does it do for you to live in District F, but can't vote on your leadership in District F? And this needs to be made sure and needs to be clarified within every district within the city of Lake Charles. We lose a lot of voter participation because people get frustrated because at the last minute they realize they can't vote where they live. So they just don't turn out. That's unacceptable. I'm coming to you in way enough time for you to go to the courthouse. Check on your voter information. Find out if you registered to vote, if you're registered to vote where you live. It is important. It is imperative. It is needed that you turn out and vote. How can we hold our leadership accountable when we don't even want to go to the polls to vote? How can we be mad if our leadership make bad decisions, yet they wasn't elected by representative of the majority of the people? It's a difference between being elected by everyone that goes to vote and being elected by the majority. We are to be held accountable as citizens just as much as we want the elected officials to be held accountable. And it's unacceptable, Lake Charles. It's unacceptable, District F. We must turn out. We must turn out and vote if we want to make a difference. If you don't go vote, then you've lost your voice. You've relinquished your right to have a say-so in what our leadership does. For far too long, we've been sitting on the sidelines. For far too long, we've been complaining. For far too long, we've been just accepting what has been put in front of us. Well, now you have the time. 2017, March 25th, your vote can make a difference. Don't get it misconstrued with what went on in the presidential election. Pay attention to your local elections. That is what affects your life day in and day out on a daily basis. This mayor's race is crucial. I'm going to support whoever is elected mayor. I'm going to work with who's ever on the city council. But as community residents, as people that expect things from our police department, as a person that expects things from our leadership, our communities, our neighborhoods, I must go out and exercise my vote. You must go out and exercise your vote. We have got to turn out to vote to ensure that we get leadership that is reflective of the greater majority of the citizens. After we vote, we must stay engaged in order to ensure that our leaders are serving the people. The city as a whole ought to be concerned with each and every leader elected from each and every district, because these leaders will ultimately become the city's government. We're going to be the ones calling shots. We're going to be the ones making decisions on your behalf. You should be involved. You should hold your leadership accountable. Because when I become city councilman of District F, I'm going to hold you responsible, citizens of District F. I'm going to hold you accountable, citizens of Lake Charles. Don't expect my decisions to be the best that they could be if you're not engaged with me. If you're not telling me the changes that you want to see made, if you're not telling me what you need done in your neighborhoods, if we don't work together, we're going to perish together. So as your city councilman, I'm asking you, I'm urging you to go out and vote. Don't take it lightly. This is not, I repeat, this is not a black issue or a white issue. It's a people's issue. It's the people of District F. It's the people of the city of Lake Charles. It's an issue for all of us. It matters that we elect a mayor that is elected by the majority of the people. It is essential that we elect city councilmen and councilwomen that are elected by the majority of the people in your district. It is imperative that we go to the polls. We fought for this. People died for our right to vote. And we need to exercise that vote. You cannot allow yourself to become so frustrated with leadership that you won't go out to change it. For far too long, we've allowed people to stay in office. We've allowed people to sit on the throne and make decisions on our behalf. And we are unhappy with their leadership. You have an opportunity to change that, Lake Charles. You have an opportunity to make a difference. No longer will your excuses be acceptable. No longer will your laziness be acceptable. No longer will it matter your voice after the election. February 22nd is the last date for you to update your information, to go out and register to vote for this March 25th election. Take heed to what I'm telling you, people. Take heed to the fact that if you want Lake Charles to be bigger, better, greater, you must do the first thing, and that's to vote. You must, at all costs, show up. Let your voice be heard. Your vote is your voice. That's the one thing that you can truly count on to be the way you want it to be, and that's your vote. When we put all these votes together, then we elect leadership. So again, I'm coming to you, Lake Charles. I am urging you, District F, go out, vote, take a friend to the polls. Understand that your vote is your voice. So let your voices be heard. The mark of a new era. Craig Marks, the next City Council, District F. I appreciate your vote. I expect your vote, and I will see you at the polls. God bless.